Hey everybody, I'm Christine Barr, and this is Today Over Tea, where we have real conversations about things that matter. I'm a dancer, businesswoman, traveler, and host. And today we're creating an open-minded space with hopes of spreading awareness and education through similar experiences. I'm going to introduce you to some of the most passionate and knowledgeable people in my life. 2020 is the time to own who you are, reach your highest potential, and just love your life. Because let's face it, we're all going through something, but it's time to evolve as a society. We need to spread more kindness and love for each other and this planet. So let's start the conversation. Okay, welcome back. I would love to introduce you to an incredible man named John Skowronski. We're going on almost 10 years of friendship, and I was his first ballroom dance instructor. His story is incredible, and he's going to tell you how dance changed his life.
Well, thank you, Christine. In the back you might see some things. I used to run some marathons in my earlier day, but then life changed. I was married, and I don't know if you're familiar with the disease Huntington's chorea, but my wife was diagnosed with that in like 2004 or so. And Huntington's, it's 100% terminal, and your children have a 50% chance of getting it. And what it does, it attacks the cells going into the brain. There's a buildup of protein in there, so impulses do not get to your brain, and obviously the brain controls everything.
So it affects the nervous system.
Right, nervous system, everything, eating, bathing, whatever.
Right.
And it's slowly,
Oh,
it slowly kills you.
yeah.
So normally you would live maybe 10 to 20 years after you're diagnosed. And your personality changes,
Yeah.
very bad, and antisocial, and it's not their fault. That's what they have. So it's very, very, very stressful. They do not like to have any help in the house, so you're pretty much it.
So right, so how does that affect the people helping or the people around experiencing this disease from the outside?
Well, like we would never have anyone come in the house. You would not allow anyone come in to help her. So I was just taking care of her.
Wow. That's a lot of stress on you.
Very lot. Oh
Yeah.
yes. There's so much stress, but she got to the point where she would fall down a lot in the house and break furniture, and her head would be bleeding, and
Oh my.
go back and forth to the hospital emergency room. I had to assure them I didn't do this.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a long story. I won't go into all those details, but it was very, very stressful. Many falls, many times to the hospital. It got to the point where she had to go to the nursing home. And with that disease around here, nursing home people around here did not know how to cope with someone with that disease.
It's very rare.
Very rare.
Yeah.
So we found a place across state, below St. Louis, that has
Which
Huntington's.
in relation, for people who don't know, is probably about...
It's a 500-mile round trip.
Wow.
So in 4 hours, we took her over there. And as soon as she was there, she fell. So which meant there's no way I had a chance trying to take care of her.
Sure.
So how did we get to meet? Well, what happened, I like jazz,
Yeah.
and I like impressionist painting. So I was going out to hear some jazz, different places, Johnson County Community College, and I heard that the Kansas City Jazz Band is going to be playing at over in Kansas City, Kansas Community College.
Okay.
So I'm on the phone with this lady. She says, well, come early, John, because there'll be some dancing. Well, it's a college. I figured there'll be some college kids dancing.
Sure.
So I get there early, and the band is not out, but we have a quartet over here playing. They had a tenor sax, they had percussions, and they were playing not banjos, but guitars and
Right.
singing. And over here, and it was Hot Latin Nights is the theme of this.
Okay.
So it's going to be Latin type of jazz. There's two beautiful people sitting here, and I'm in the fourth row looking up. And they're sitting there, pretend they're drinking, and he had this tuxedo on, and she had this black dress, short hair, just gorgeous, cut up. And they get up and they're dancing. And that was the dancing. It was not college. And I said, oh my gosh, this is unbelievable.
They were doing what, like Argentine?
I had no
tango?
idea.
You didn't know at
what
the
do
time.
I know? What do I know? Argentine tango or any tango? Are
Right.
you kidding me?
Right, but now you know.
So
Yeah.
then they would sit down, they'd get up and dance again.
Sure.
And then the band came out, and they came and danced again.
Nice.
So there was a program. I said, who are these people?
Right, they were like featured.
Right.
Mm.
So I saw the name, Louis Barr, Louis Barr. Of course, I found out later he's French, so it's not Louis, it's Louis, like Louis XIV.
Right.
And Laura Cantu. And I didn't know if they were married or I had no idea. Anyway, I was more interested in watching them dance than the jazz concert. I just fell in love. It was just unbelievable.
Something just took a hold of you.
It did.
Yeah.
So once that was over, and I did see that they had, they were like 5 times French national champion. They were 5th in the world in Argentine tango.
Wow.
My sister, New Jersey, loves Argentine tango.
That's right.
So we're getting these connections going.
Yeah.
So the concert is over. I'm in this little corridor, and they look so big when they're dancing, and they're not. They're
No.
short.
They're very short
So
in real life.
I'm right next to Laura Cantu, and I didn't know if they're married. I said, Laura, are you married? She said, yes. Oh, I said, darn, I was going to propose to you tonight.
Man, you were forward, John.
Oh, I can't believe I said that.
That's awesome.
Anyway, I called on, this was on a Friday night,
Mm-hmm.
back in 2010, and I talked to someone. They said, well, come into the studio on Monday. So I go to the studio. Why am I going to the studio? I don't dance. Now, one thing I didn't say, this was during my 72nd trip around the sun.
Right. I was going to ask,
Oh my
how
gosh.
old were you, if I can ask that at this point?
Well,
And also I want to know, where were you in relation to, like, what was happening to Elaine, your wife?
oh yes.
Because what
She's in-
made you go out that night? Seemed you were pretty
Well-
busy taking care of her.
Well,
you didn't get a chance
she's
for
in a
yourself.
nursing home. She's in a nursing home.
Okay,
now,
so you
across
finally had a
state.
free moment.
Right. In
Okay.
fact, I will show you. Oh, I didn't have a
Yes,
moment.
we'll
Now
talk
I
about
do.
that. Yeah.
And I would drive back and forth to St. Louis, back and forth,
I see.
during the week, and then I would dance. Well, I didn't dance yet, but I
Right.
get to the studio and I'm wondering, why am I here? Because I don't dance.
Right. Something
So,
just pulled you in. Yeah.
Louis was there. He says, well, you dance, you'll have a lesson with my daughter. I said,
Yeah, so
okay.
for those of you who don't know, Louis Barr is my father. So that is the connection to how
Right.
then John and I met. So he said, have a lesson with my daughter,
Right.
which was me.
So I had 2 lessons, and then I went back east because my niece was having a wedding. So I was gone a week. I came back, had 2 more lessons. I said, I'm done, that's it.
That's it,
No
5
more, no more
lessons,
dancing.
call it
Louis says,
done.
oh, no, John. Friday, it's Christine's 21st birthday. I said, oh wow, I get to go to 21st lady's birthday. Yeah, I'm in. So I go to the
That's
studio,
interesting.
and all the people are out there dancing, and I had no idea. Oh my God, they were just fantastic on that floor dancing, and I didn't know how to do anything. Not once did I get on that dance floor. And I had all Angie and different people were trying to get me on the dance floor.
Everyone, yeah.
But then I met your biological mom, Carol.
That's right.
And she likes jazz, and I like jazz. She
Right.
likes Impressionist painting. I like Impressionist painting, so we had that connection. I met another pro, Romeo. He's from
The Philippines.
Philippines.
Right.
And I was in the Philippines, in Manila. I was there 1 year before he was born. I said, well, that's kind of odd.
Right, everything started. But
It
you're
was
also,
thinking.
we also have to say that you are someone who appreciates the signs like that. When the universe is trying to talk to you. That's very important. And I
Well.
think that a lot of people, maybe they see those things, but they don't necessarily think of them as taking action with them.
Right, but it
And-
just seemed
and-
like I was supposed to be there.
Right,
For
it
whatever was
was
coming. I had
connecting
no
for you.
idea. So I was not looking to dance.
Right.
Like later on, people say, well, I guess you're living your dream. I said, no, that was never my dream to be a dancer. It's
But
just-
this is a
just
great
happened.
question. What were you looking for?
Well, I don't know if I've asked myself that question.
Yeah.
Uh,
Because you were, it seemed
My-
like you were in a
my-
tough situation.
yeah.
You were looking
right.
for something maybe.
Now, the other thing that happens with that illness is you lose all your friends. We used to be right here at this table playing board games. But as her situation got worse, she got terrible, and you couldn't have them over anymore. She got mad if she would lose,
Right.
so you couldn't do that. So
And you're a part of that couple, so
oh,
now
yeah.
all of a sudden
so no, they're not here,
friends
so
too.
no one. So you don't have anyone around.
Right.
I mean, I could tell you a lot of bad stories about this.
Yeah.
I mean, I got scars from it, but it's
But
not
you were,
their fault.
it sounds like
so,
maybe you were looking for companionship.
right.
Yeah.
And I wanted to make sure I wasn't a burden on my kids. In fact, I didn't tell them for quite a while that I was taking ballroom dancing lessons.
What would they have said?
They were happy I was doing it because they didn't have to worry about Dad going to a bar or sitting home doing nothing.
Ah, that's a good point.
So I started taking these lessons. And let me show you something. We're
Yeah.
talking about,
Yeah.
this is September '09, and that's my calendar.
And this was
Not much on there.
Yeah, it was right before you started dancing.
Right. So then when I start dancing, this is my calendar. Gets a little busy.
A little busy.
So I'm taking lessons, I'm
Yeah.
driving to St. Louis or coming back.
Right.
Elaine never knew I was taking dancing lessons.
Okay.
You don't bother them with anything because they don't like change. I redecorate the whole house, they do not like change
Okay.
at all. So I was doing this back and forth, and that's how I got into dancing.
You were into dancing how long after your wife eventually passed?
Yeah, let me talk about that
Yeah.
a little bit. As I mentioned, she's over
Is it-
Potosi. It's Potosi, Missouri.
Okay.
Is what it is, below St. Louis.
Yeah.
So she was over there because here the nursing homes did not know. I knew more about that disease than the people working in nursing homes here.
I mean, you have to almost do
So
your
she
own
was there
research.
2 years, and there was a change in ownership, and it was horrible.
Ugh.
And Elaine's situation, her mental and everything else deteriorated,
Yeah.
where she was just, the beds are right on the floor, and she couldn't even get up.
Yeah.
So I went back to the nursing home here, where which is right around the corner,
Right, it's like
and I got all
5
the,
minutes from your house.
oh yeah, I got all the nurses' notes and everything like that up here, and they determined, yes, she can come back. So then she was back here.
Good.
So she lived here, if you call it live, but for another year, and then she passed away in 2012.
Okay, 2012. So but at that point, you had already been dancing
Right.
for a few years.
A few years,
You
right.
had already been to France with us one time. We were going on our second trip in 2012 together. And so the overlap and the transition in your life, I mean, we looked at your calendar, how it was,
Oh, it's
you had
unbelievable.
lost all your friends, you had lost, I mean, the person that is closest to you, that you fell in love with, that you were married for how long?
50 years.
50 years. I mean, that's unheard of these days for people to even be married that long. That's such a huge accomplishment. You have 2 beautiful children, you've got grandkids, great-grandkids.
I do.
I mean, you have such a beautiful family you've created, and now the second pillar of that family is starting to fall, and you're having to be the strong one. And now you find something that allows you to keep going, and the universe is saying, there's something else after this. Life is not over for you,
Right.
it's just because it's over for her, right? And I think
Right.
that's huge,
Oh, yeah.
because I think this is such a relatable thing for so many people
you
that are
can-
losing a spouse or losing
Yeah.
a loved one.
But you get into that, and sometimes you think, gee, I'm having such a great time, so you feel guilty.
Ah, that's a good point.
But then you think, yeah, but I have my children,
Right,
so I got to think of them, so you want to be strong for them.
sure.
So then you think, well, I should have had more patience. So if you think about it, then you get yourself depressed too much, so it's trying to do a balance.
It's just a hamster wheel, yeah.
Yeah. So what I found out in dancing, what it did for me is it gave me a goal. And as you get older, people don't use what's up here. If I'm going to dance with Christine, I have to learn a pattern of dancing. And I had no idea what a cha-cha or rumba or a foxtrot, any of that was. There'd be music playing at a party. What's that? Oh, okay, that's that.
Yeah, that's the
So-
first thing you kind of learn is music recognition.
In fact,
So
I don't know
what
if you
goes
remember,
on?
Christine, but I had you make a bunch of CDs for me of the different music. So I
Yes.
listen while I'm driving back to St. Louis,
'Cause you had
back
the
and
time,
forth,
yeah.
try to recognize that.
Right,
The other thing I would say, when I'm driving over there, I'm in good shape, I feel good. As I get closer to the nursing home, man, you just get so depressed, so depressed.
so to be able to drive back,
But then
coming
back,
home knowing that maybe the next day you were having a dance lesson,
Right.
kept you goal oriented,
Right.
it kept you thinking, it kept you happy, it kept
Absolutely.
you, now all of a sudden you had a brand new community of people that you didn't
You
even know existed
that's a good
before.
point, because when I told my sister back in New Jersey, who loves Argentine tango, I was
Yes.
taking ballroom, Jack, they call me Jack. My friends back there call me Jack, but here I'm John.
Yeah.
My sister-in-law was confused, and she called me Jackie John.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, I told her I was taking ballroom. She said, Jack, it's not just the dancing, it's all the social and the people you meet. I said, oh yeah,
Right.
Unbelieving.
Yeah.
But she was so right, because what did we do? We took 3 trips to France as a group.
We did.
And if it wasn't for that, I would not be going with Louis, because he was born there, and of course Christine was born in
Yeah.
France.
Yeah, so you got to go to France for the first time. Was the first time when you went with us?
Yes.
And so you've been 3 times since.
We went 11, 12, and 14.
Right. And then we started doing a version of Dancing with the Stars, a local version.
Right.
That then we would bring in the dancers from Dancing with the Stars, the show.
Right.
And you got to dance with
I danced with them
so
because
many of them.
Anna Tarvin-Piles was the first because my wife, we both like Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
She's a Russian redhead, so I will dance with her. Now this is the other thing I try to tell people is if you can do something, do it because you don't know what tomorrow or next year will bring. You just don't know.
That's a good
So just do it.
lesson, yeah.
And don't say, the other thing I'm not going to try to dance. I'm going to dance. In other words, you say, I'm going to try this.
Right.
You're leaving yourself an out. Well, I tried it and it failed.
And I didn't like it, right.
So it's best to say, I will do this.
Right.
Don't mean you're always successful, but
Now you're 10 years later.
10
right?
years later.
10 years later. So you can guess how old I am, do the math. John gives away my age when he tells these stories. But 10 years later of a life that you never thought was going to happen to you. It was like a second wind, in a sense.
Right.
And now you're starting to see people that have been doing this just as long as you, if not longer.
Right.
And you're seeing people start as well, their journey.
Right.
They're asking you for
Right.
advice.
Right.
And you're seeing that everyone has a story with dance. And everyone got into it for a different reason.
Right.
Everyone got something different out of it, but met all of these different people from different walks of life that now are able to come together and share in a passion.
That's
a
the
common
thing,
passion.
right? That's what's so great about dancing.
Yeah.
It's a totally different type of person that's involved in that
Right.
because they're all going to be pretty optimistic.
Sure.
They're learning new things. As I say, as you get older, you want to learn new things. You want to challenge yourself.
Yeah.
You know, I do competitions, but you don't have to do competitions because
There's
you
a
can
lot
take
of
group
options.
lessons, right?
Right.
You don't have to spend a lot of money. You can take just some group lessons and learn some steps.
That's it. Yeah, because
Like-
you can't really be unhappy when you're
Right.
dancing, right?
Right.
I just
So,
don't think it's possible.
Like I'll go to a competition, I'll dance 13 different dance styles. That
Right.
means I have to learn the sequence of 13 different dance styles
Right.
plus showcases.
Because
What I was-
as a male, you're
Right.
you're leading.
To me, this was always strange. Here I have the professionals teaching me to lead them.
Right.
It sounds so strange.
So think about that when you watch Dancing with the Stars, because I don't think a lot of people understand. They see all the pros and the celebrities,
Right.
and they think, oh wow, that's such a hard job. And I think the women have it so much harder
Oh,
because
yes. Oh,
they are
yes.
teaching
Yes.
amateur men
Right.
how to lead
Lead
them
them. Oh,
and not look
absolutely.
like they're back leading. Versus the pro men, if they're good at what they do and their girl can move a little bit, they
Right.
can lead her around the floor, and make
Right.
her look really great.
We're on the dance floor, and I'm the student here, the amateur. I know this.
Yeah.
We get in trouble, this is what I know.
Right.
That pro knows this.
Right.
He knows everything. He knows how to get out of that situation.
But that's such a cool
But-
situation
but-
because we're a team.
But still, you do it.
You do it,
You
yeah.
do it anyway.
Right.
You do as best you can.
Right, and with my knowledge and your knowledge, we're a team, and we're able to, I mean, this is one of the only sports in the world where the coach doesn't sit on the sidelines, where the coach actually
That's right.
participates in the sport with the student, which is incredible. So we get to go and we get to compete together. I get to do my hair and makeup.
Right.
You get to get all nice in a tux, right?
Oh yeah.
We get to go all over. I mean, you've competed in how many different states now?
Well, let's see. We did Manhattan, New York. We did GGG, The Great Gatsby,
Right, in San Diego.
St. Louis 3 times. Kansas City about 8 times.
Yep.
Here,
You've
North
been to Las
America,
Vegas.
Las Vegas. So and then
Yeah.
other, down to Lake and Nebraska and
Yeah.
Cedar Rapids and
Yeah.
it's just a whole new lifestyle that I did not know existed. Your dad,
Competitions,
Louis,
yeah.
saw that. He says,
Yeah.
well, Louis.
And also he is, and also, but also without knowing, I think that's the cool part about this sport is that as instructors, without knowing the situation of the student coming in,
Right.
we could tell. You can already tell a little bit. You can tell this is something they need, right? There's so many
Yeah.
benefits we can say
Right.
of ballroom
But
dancing.
you know, but we have no clue.
No clue because you don't know what is laying on the other side of it.
Correct.
We don't know your story. We didn't know
Right.
how deep it was until you told us. But benefits of ballroom dancing are you could lose weight, You get your shape,
balance for as you get
mental
older.
strength.
To me, that's the biggest thing.
That's a
mental.
big thing.
Big thing.
Right. Because now how many trips around the sun have you done?
70, oh no, I'm sorry, 81 now.
81 now. 81 now.
And
So,
I like to say, now what are we going to accomplish on this 81st trip around the sun?
Right.
Not what are we going to do this year, or how old are you?
Yeah,
It sounds better. How many trips have you had around the sun?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I agree.
That's what it
And
is.
it pulls back everything that you've been doing your whole life. With, I mean, look at all the accomplishments. You have just as many medals, right, which we're going to show, from dancing now, right? Did you ever think that you were going to have a whole other wall with a whole different sport of accomplishments?
But I got to caution everyone. It's addicting.
It's so
It's a positive addiction.
It's so addicting.
Once you get into it,
Yeah.
give it a try. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
And again, I did not start out to be a dancer. And I know there's levels, there's bronze, there's silver and gold. I was zinc or lead when I started. I wasn't even bronze.
I love his metaphors. It's just so good. Not everyone's story is the same when it comes to how dancing changed your life. But I think your story in particular is so outstanding and so incredible that really it sounds like, especially at the beginning when you're hearing all the signs, that the universe was trying to pull you towards this new life.
And of course now I've had different teachers in and out of my life too.
That's it,
Christine
exactly.
leaves, she goes to LA and then Las Vegas. And
Right.
then I had Joan and Tamara and Krista relocated back to Utah, so it's
Yeah.
constant change.
Which is exciting.
It's exciting.
It keeps everything moving. You have
Yeah.
new goals with new teachers.
Right, new challenges.
New challenges. You just recently did a Peabody showcase, which was
Yes.
phenomenal. You got to put in some of your little bit of acting into it.
Oh, it was fun.
Got great judges' scores, which was exciting, which is something you never thought you would be
Absolutely
excited
not.
about ever.
I figured that was probably the last showcase I'd be doing with Krista, so I
Yeah.
wanted to make it good.
Right.
And one of the comments, what I liked, is that we had a great combination on the dance floor.
Which
And
is
that's what
the
you
best
want.
compliment
That's
ever.
the best compliment.
Because again,
'Cause they
we're a
can see
team.
that.
You know, when you're on the
Right.
floor together, you're a team.
Yeah.
So if it's not both looking like a cohesive partnership, then that's not.
And as you know,
Yeah.
you have to have fun out there, because if
You
we're
do.
not having fun, the audience,
No, they're not.
they're not having fun.
Not at all. So I guess
things I learned.
Yeah. So I guess the last question that I have for you is, you're 81 years young. What's next? Now what? You've done so many things.
I don't know.
You've done so many things with marathons and running.
And hunting.
And you're a hunter. You've done so many
I was
incredible
in the
things.
Marine Corps for a while.
It's it. In the
Anyway.
Marine Corps, you've got a beautiful family. You've been through and thrived through tragedy, and now you've found another sport. Now what?
That's a good question.
Because I feel like the
No.
possibilities are endless for you.
No, we're just
You
gonna
know?
keep, I'll be dancing with Joan, and we'll
Right.
be doing some Peabody, and maybe come out to see you guys, and the Great
Yeah.
Gatsby.
Yeah, so
San
keep going, because
Diego.
the ballroom dance circuit still keeps going every
Right,
year, so
right.
there's competitions every month.
Sometimes
You
I
can
think,
choose.
well, why do this anymore? But then I think, well, why not?
Because if you were to stop now,
Why stop?
yeah, you're in great shape.
Right.
You're still driving around, doing all these
Oh, yeah.
things.
And I know a lot of
he
people
has
are
he has
not.
20/20 vision, which is better than most of us. I'm jealous of that. So clearly this is working, not just for your physical health, but your mental health. And this is something that has allowed you to have a better life in general. Thank you so much for talking to me. I just
I
love hearing your
appreciate it.
story.
Thank
It's
you,
just so
Christine.
great. And can I tell you, this man is, I mean, I've had a lot of students in my career, but this man changed my life just as much as he says I
Oh,
changed
really?
his. Oh, absolutely. I mean, the fact that when we come back to Kansas City, we get to see each other. We still dance together. We danced together last
Oh,
night.
yeah, some West Coast
right?
swing.
And I get to see your progress and your happiness, and just to see that something that I grew up doing was able to affect you in such a way and help you through a transition in your life. And I was able to be a part of that as almost like a bridge for you. I mean, that's huge. That makes me feel like there was a purpose behind something I was doing.
Right.
You know, so of course you changed my life through that. Like, that's incredible. You know, now we're not just friends, we're family.
That's true.
You know?
I took a dance class and I fell in love with dancing, and wow,
God, dancing is so
Yeah.
amazing, isn't it?
Haven't been the
It
same
changed
since.
everything. I haven't. And this was when I moved to Vegas in 2010.
Oh my gosh.
After a
Oh,
ballroom
I'm getting
intro
emotional just thinking
class.
about it.
You too?
I just love people when they talk about how they fell into dancing, because there's such a just unique, like not naive, but like it's just so fresh. It's like a blank canvas, and you don't know what you're about to discover.
Yeah,
It's so exciting.
it seems that for many of us, dancing is indeed one of the freest spaces. I know a number of women who run companies, who have families, who their life revolves around managing and control, and who have expressed that in dancing is one of the few spaces where they can just be.
That's it.
That's
me.
This is
100%
perfect
me.
because this is basically the end of my long story.
Yeah.
Is that I found myself in dancing and I overcame my own limitations, and that transformed my life and helped me in this way to perform and travel and compete. And I also get to incorporate dance as part of my coping skills therapy program.
Oh wow.
And so
It's so
it
therapeutic.
has become who I am. And so for you to say that
incredible.
it's changed my life, it gives me a sense of control and expression. That's exactly why.
Everything. I mean,
I love it.
exactly what I love how you say, because I always see that when I'm teaching like wedding couples, brand new, or something like that. And the woman always wants to lead. And I'm like, oh my God, girl, you have the most amazing opportunity right now. You just get to enjoy the ride. And they don't know how to relinquish control. And I don't know how to share that with them. What an amazing feeling it is. Because I tell people sometimes, I'm like, I just wish I didn't, like people didn't call me first for everything, or I didn't have to always solve the problem, or why do I always have to go and pick up the this, the that, whatever, and so it's so nice when I get to just arrive at an event or at a social and all these guys I get to dance with, and I don't have to, I just get to just be free and just be fun and be sexy. And I taught a class for someone the other day, and we did West Coast Swing, which is a very giving and receiving dance. And it was literally and metaphorically. And so it was incredible, because I said the best part about this dance is when you can master it, not even get to a very high level, you can reap the benefits of it even at a moderate level, and you get to have a conversation with someone that you've never met before, and you dance for the first time, and you're both ready to create. That's the thing. Like you said, there's no ego. That is such a rare space to be in life, but especially in dance too, because so many people come in and they're like, oh, I saw her dancing over there. I want to go dance with her because she's really good. So now all of a sudden they want to dance with you and they want to show off with you. And it's like, yeah, but now I'm not having fun, because now you're dancing for your friends.
Right.
And I don't even know you.
But
You know what I mean? Like, right?
That's part of
That's
it.
what was so amazing about the first time we met.
Indeed.
Right? Because
Indeed.
we were reminiscing
just
about that before. We
danced.
met at a Congress. You asked me to dance, or I asked you to, someone asked someone. And we started dancing, and there was this like peacefulness about what was happening. There was no pressure. There was no, I have to prove that I'm a good dancer and you have to prove that you're a good dancer. You did your part, I did my part. And it was just so free. There was no ego. We were both giving. We were both receiving. I mean, it was just, that is the most pinnacle place to be. I mean, for me, I relate it. I'm like, it's like really good intimacy. You know what I'm saying?
No, certainly.
It's a different level of intimacy.
You can watch it with certain people.
Yeah.
It's definitely something to watch when I see y'all two dance, because y'all joke a lot. Y'all laugh a lot.
Yeah.
And like whenever I see, to me, I think that's as fly as it gets in dancing.
Right.
Like if we're, because there's no such thing as a mistake in that space.
No.
Right?
it's just
Where like,
fun.
You're accepting
I went
whatever.
for your hand and you for sure was somewhere else. Dope. I'm gonna hit
That's
the,
it. Let's
I'm
go
hit,
with it.
I'm gonna hit
Right.
the shimmy and I'm gonna keep it moving.
It's an
These are-
invitation.
yeah,
It's
it's
not
beautiful.
a coercion. And so it
Correct.
becomes more just about communication and
Right.
connection.
Absolutely.
It isn't as aesthetic as people think.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, oh, I did 20 different spins,
Oh, totally.
It's not like we met each other
100% agree with you.
and then we got to know each other
Yep.
and we honored each other in the space. Because I've danced, there's people who are like, oh, I don't know how to dance salsa. I don't care. You like the music? Dope.
That's it.
We can dance whatever dance you want to
Totally.
dance to.
Right.
Totally.
To this song that's happening, but as long as you enjoy yourself and
Right.
we're good. But I think that's intention.
Right.
And if somebody's watching, and we all know this when we see people who are unfamiliar to the dance space, where they think everyone is a pro,
Right.
and it's like, nah, like just get out there.
Just go.
But
Yeah.
people feel like that in life too. You know, we look at, we're
Oh,
observing.
the dance floor
Too.
is 100%.
You know,
My
it's
favorite metaphor.
yeah. It
The
is
dance
indeed
floor is
that.
100% the way life is.
Yeah.
The way people tiptoe into it, or the way they walk on the floor with confidence, like.
Or justify it. I don't dance that well. I've only been dancing X amount.
Right,
of
so
months.
that if they
That's
mess
still
up, all of a sudden they have a
justification.
disclaimer over the whole dance, and it's
Yeah.
like,
It's like,
but you don't need that.
It's not
Like,
that serious. It's okay.
not that serious. So I tell them too, I'm like, we're not solving world hunger. We're not curing a disease. Like, this is just dancing. Just be free. And I don't think people know how to release themselves to that. Again, it comes back to that childlike quality that we were talking about.